What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to another video on the channel. And in today's video, I am going to be giving you guys my power rankings for NFL Week 2. Now, if you guys are new to the channel or this power ranking series, be sure to like and subscribe, as it does help out a lot. And yeah, let's just jump right into this. So, needless to say, Week 1 was odd. It was odd. From last week's power rankings, 2 teams dropped out of the top 10, and 2 teams obviously entered the top 10. Now, I've got top 10, also got 4 honorable mentions, but yeah, let's just go right on to number 10. So, number 10, I have the Cleveland Browns. Now, I actually didn't have the Cleveland Browns in my top 10 last week. I had them as an honorable mention. And, they lost, so you might be like, oh, well, why'd you move them up? Well, I actually think that they played very well, and against the Chiefs. Now, this does show some of the limitations that they have. It's just that against a really explosive team like the Kansas City Chiefs, they really can't keep up. They executed the game plan perfectly, except for one play where Baker threw a pick, and then they still lost because it's just they played the Chiefs, and then they're or I wouldn't say pretty, but they're limited on offense because of the nature of their quarterback, who isn't the biggest, he isn't one of those quarterbacks that can just get you easy touchdowns. So yeah, and Patrick Mahomes can give you easy touchdowns as we saw on Sunday. So I still think that the Browns are very well coached. They have a pretty good defense, an amazing running game, a really good or best offensive line in the league, and good weapons. I just worry about the quarterback, but they are at number 10. Number 9, I have the Ravens. Now, I'm not going to move the Ravens too far down because, well, I did move them down 5 spots, but they're still in the top 10 because that was a very close game against the Raiders. Now, I don't think that the Raiders are on the same level as the Ravens or even high or even better than the Ravens. No, I don't think that's the case. I think that the Ravens were just came out with no running backs. And the rest is history. The Raiders actually played pretty well, and Lamar had 2 fumbles. So yeah, it is how it is. But I still think the Ravens will be a very good football team. Obviously, Lamar Jackson has an 80% winning percentage in the regular season. So I think that they'll still be a pretty good team, even if they lost their Week 1 game, which is why I have them at number 9. Number 8, I have the Pittsburgh Steelers. So, yeah, that was a pretty surprising win, I would say. With me as a Steelers fan, it was still pretty surprising that we actually beat the Buffalo Bills, considering that we lost to them twice in the last 2 years. But yeah, I think that, our offense didn't really play too well in the first half, but in the second half, Chase Claypool got going. Ben actually started making some throws. Our running game actually got better in the second half. So I think that the second half offense was actually a decent offense that was on the field, and obviously the defense was absolutely amazing. The defense is what's going to carry the Steelers moving forward. I do think that there are some problems. Obviously, the offense got off to a slow start and really isn't too explosive, kind of like the Browns, except for the offensive line. Yeah, the offensive line is terrible. And yeah, I don't know. The Steelers, to me, feel like a really good defense with a decent offense, but the offense can't really make too many big plays, which means that you're going to have to rely on your defense every single game, which can lead to some problems. Okay, number 7, I have the Bills. So you might be thinking, why do you have the Bills ahead of the Steelers if the Steelers won? I think that the Steelers they got a little bit lucky. The Bills kind of came out flat in the second half, and they got a blocked punt. So there's that. And without the blocked punt, it would have been a tied game. So who knows how the game would have gone without the blocked punt. But yeah, the offensive line definitely concerns me. Josh Allen got sacked so many times. T.J. Watt alone got 2 sacks. And they don't have a running game, and Josh Allen showed maybe even signs of regression from last year in this game. He missed a wide open Emmanuel Sanders. Yeah, but when that happened, I got flashbacks to the Super Bowl with the 49ers because literally basically the exact same throw, man. It's just he's wide open and both quarterbacks missed it. And, everyone destroyed Jimmy G for that. So, I mean, time to destroy Josh Allen, right? No, I'm just kidding. It's not the Super Bowl. But yeah, that was a bad throw by Josh Allen. He missed like an easy touchdown. And then other than that, I mean, the defense actually played pretty well, but it was against the Steelers' offense, which really isn't too explosive. So we'll have to see like how it fares moving forward. But right now, I still believe in the Bills, which is why I have them at number 7. And number 6, I have the 49ers. I actually moved them down 2 spots from last week because, I mean, they almost lost the Lions. And I know they were like in control of that game, but that's 2-minute meltdown was just like, no, you can't do that if you're like a top 5 team in the NFL. Like, especially against the Lions, man. Especially against the Lions. So, I have them number 6, move them down a little bit. But obviously, they played an amazing game for 58 minutes of it. It's just the last 2 minutes that really killed them, which is why they're at number 6. Number 5, I actually didn't have the Rams in my top 10 last week because I said, okay, I need to see how Matthew Stafford plays. Well, yeah, they catapulted all the way up into the top 5. Now I saw Colin Coward. He put the Rams at number 1. I don't know about that one, alright? I don't know about that one, but I do think that they are a top 5 team. Now they did show signs of where they let David Montgomery run all over them, but obviously they have Aaron Donald and Jalen Ramsey on their defense, and a really good defense surrounding those 2 stars. And then Matthew Stafford seems to be exactly what the Rams need at quarterback. And obviously they have a good surrounding cast around Matthew Stafford, which is why they're able to get to the playoffs and even the Super Bowl with Jared Goff. But yeah, I think that the Rams have a really good roster, and who knows, Matthew Stafford might be the missing piece. And who knows, they might even catapult to number 1. I'm just not ready to put them there yet. Number 4, I have the Cardinals. Now, you might be surprised why you have the Cardinals so high, especially since, I mean, I didn't say this, but I picked the Cardinals to easily win against the Titans, which I feel like people could imply based on the fact that Titans weren't even an honorable mention. The Cardinals were 7th or something in my list. But yeah, I thought the Cardinals were going to roll the Titans, and guess what? They rolled the Titans. And you know why? The Titans don't have a good defense. And so for some reason, Titans fans are still talking about how they're the best. They're a really good team. Yeah, they should. Jesus Christ, Titans fans, come on, man. Your team's not good. Your team's not good. Your defense is atrocious, and who knows? Maybe your offense won't even be as good as we thought it would be. And with that terrible defense, yeah, not good. Especially considering the Cardinals' defense isn't really too good. But yeah, the Cardinals absolutely manhandled the Titans, which is what you're supposed to do with a good team against a below average team or maybe even an average team. Kyler Murray played amazing. DeAndre Hopkins and Christian Kirk both were good. And the defense, which I didn't think would be too well or would be too good, actually played good. Chandler Jones got 5 sacks. So, yeah, that was pretty good. And I think that the Cardinals are going to be the most improved team in the NFL. And I have them at number 4. Number 3, I have the Seahawks. They also manhandled the Colts. And Russell Wilson played amazing. And I do think that the Colts are a better team than the Titans, which is why I'm going to give them a pass for not absolutely destroying them. You know, they won by 18 points, I think. I think it was 28-10, or maybe it was 28-17, and the Colts got a late touchdown. It doesn't matter. They had that game in control the whole way against a pretty good team, and who I think is going to win the AFC South. And really, the standout was their defensive line, because the Colts' offensive line is good, and the defensive line still was able to put pressure on the quarterback, even though the Colts' offensive line was good. So I thought that was really impressive. Obviously, Russell Wilson played amazing. Tyler Lockett played amazing. DK Metcalf played good. And yeah, if that defensive line can still generate pressure against even the best offensive lines in the NFL, yeah, that defense is actually going to be scary. Number 2, I have the Bucks, which I'm pretty sure you know what number 1 is. It's the Chiefs. So I actually moved the Bucks down from last week because they played the Cowboys, and the Cowboys would have won. Think about that. They would have lost to the Cowboys if Greg Zuerlein had anything left in the tank. So yeah, I don't know, man. I mean, I know Tom Brady historically is bad or not bad, but less good in September. So that could attribute to it, but Yeah, right now I'm not ready to say that they're the #1 team in the NFL because they almost lost to the Cowboys. Like the Cowboys. How? How? Like that just doesn't make any sense. Honorable mentions. The Packers, I actually had them at like #4 and then dropped them all the way out because that was embarrassing. Like, that was embarrassing. Jesus Christ, Aaron Rodgers. Maybe you should go on to Jeopardy. Good Lord, yeah, that was bad. Yeah, and apparently, like, he would have had a better passer rating if he spiked the ball every single play. So, yeah, that was bad. Now, I also got the Saints, who absolutely manhandled the Packers. I'm not ready to put them in the top 10 yet, ahead of, like, more proven teams, because I don't really trust their quarterback situation. But, I mean, they did prove that they could manhandle the Packers, and if they string together a couple more dominating wins, who knows? They might find themselves in the top 10. Now, the honorable mention, the Dolphins. I had them at 10 last week. I was not really too impressed with them. And, they almost lost to the Patriots, which I don't think the Patriots are too good. So, yeah, there's that. But, I mean, they're still a pretty good team, and I still think that they'll make the wild card. And then I'm going to have the Chargers as the final honorable mention. I was kind of low on the Chargers, but they really impressed me, especially the offense against a really good Washington football team defense. Like, really performed. Justin Herbert, obviously, still amazing. Keenan Allen, over 100 yards. The offensive line was good. Rashawn Slater looked amazing. So, yeah, I'm going to have the Chargers as my final honorable mention. And I just want to touch briefly on the Giants. I thought that Daniel Jones was going to take a step up, all right? And I thought that they were going to absolutely, like, easily beat the Broncos. Daniel Jones, what? Like, what? Well, this is like the final straw. I mean, I think Daniel Jones could be gone by even Thanksgiving, maybe. I don't know. Like, man, you have to win with that team around you. That roster is the best in your division. How are you not? I mean, I know every team lost, but, like, that was a winnable game against the Broncos. How did you not win? So, yeah, I'm completely off the Giants bandwagon. Like, I'm sorry, Daniel Jones, but, like, you just disappointed me. Oh, my God, dude. But I thought this year was going to be different, but you fumbled again, Daniel Jones. And, yeah, #1 is going to be the Chiefs, who beat a very good team in the Browns and came from behind to beat them, which is, apparently it's a Chiefs specialty and a Patrick Mahomes specialty, because they come from behind a lot. And, yeah, they beat the Browns, and the Browns, like I said, the Browns played basically perfect football except for one play. And the Chiefs still were able to beat them. So, yeah, the Chiefs are really good. I feel like the offensive line held up. The new offensive line, which apparently doesn't have a starter from last year onto this year's new offensive line. I do have concerns about the weapons because other than Tyreek Hill and Travis Kelce, like, no one else really showed up. But obviously they still have Patrick Mahomes. Clyde Edwards-Helaire, when they want to use him, is pretty good. And then that defense, I mean, it can generate pressure with Chris Jones and Frank Clark. And, it's a decent defense, but, like, with that offense, like, you really don't need to rely on your defense too much, which is, and again, the Bucs almost lost to the Cowboys. So, yeah, that's why the Chiefs are at #1. But anyways, that is going to do for this video. I hope you guys did enjoy, and if you guys did, be sure to like and subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you guys in the next video. 2BZ!